The story of Lapu-Lapu in Mobile Legends is inspired by the real-life historical figure, Lapu-Lapu, but there are differences between the game's portrayal and the historical accounts. In reality, Lapu-Lapu was a datu in the island of Mactan in the Philippines, known for resisting Spanish colonization. He is famously known for defeating the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan in the Battle of Mactan in 1521. Mobile Legends has adapted Lapu-Lapu into its game, giving him a more mythological and fantastical depiction, typical of many characters in the game. So, while there are similarities, the Mobile Legends story is not an exact retelling of the real-life story of Lapu-Lapu. Here is the story of Lapu-Lapu in the Mobile Legends version. Once upon a time, in a land called the Vonas Islands. Vonas Islands is the prettiest group of islands in the Land of Dawn. They're found in the south and are home to tribes. It's a great place to live because of the lovely views and nice weather. There was a village and a big fishing area on the southernmost island of Vonas Islands. In that village, there was a great warrior named Lapu-Lapu who lived there. He was born into a noble family and grew up learning to fight with a sword and shield. The Vonas Islands were not peaceful. Different tribes fought each other, and there was often conflict. Lapu-Lapu became known as the most famous warrior in the islands. Lapu-Lapu lived a simple life in his village, much like any other hunter, working in the day and resting at night. However, this peaceful life was interrupted when warlords from the Monian Empire invaded the Vonas Islands. These invaders were well-trained and quickly took over much of the land, leaving the tribes powerless. Despite being invited by various tribes to join their fight, Lapu-Lapu refused to take sides. He did not want to serve the tribal leaders or become a cowardly surrenderer. Instead, he chose to remain a humble hunter, staying away from the conflicts of the world. Lapu-Lapu and the Monians had agreed to a deal to avoid fighting. However, the Monians were greedy and didn't respect the agreement. The Monians broke their promise of peace and attacked Lapu-Lapu's tribe. This made Lapu-Lapu very angry. He decided to fight back to protect his home and his people. Lapu-Lapu gathered a group of young warriors from his tribe and began to resist the Monian invaders. He knew the land well and used his knowledge to launch surprise attacks on the enemy. As the fighting continued, Lapu-Lapu realized that guerrilla warfare alone would not be enough to defeat the Monians. He needed to unite all the tribes to stand against the invaders. Heartbroken, Lapu-Lapu realized that guerrilla warfare alone would not lead to victory. The Doric people had to confront the powerful Monian Empire directly, which seemed impossible for him and his small unit. He knew he needed to unite all available forces for a chance at success. Lapu-Lapu gathered all the Doric who were willing to resist and trained them to be skilled warriors, regardless of gender. This was not a group of power-hungry thugs, but a rebel army fighting to protect themselves. Each member had the courage and commitment to their land. They rallied around Lapu-Lapu and fought alongside him. After numerous difficult battles, the final showdown arrived. Lapu-Lapu led the enemy to the base of a mountain where many Doric warriors were hidden. He then withdrew his unit into the mountain. Aware of Lapu-Lapu's skill in jungle warfare and the cliff on the other side of the mountain, the enemy decided to block the only way out at the bottom. The Monians believed the rebels would either be forced to fight head-on or starve inside the mountain. In the dead of night, while the Monians slept, confident of victory, Lapu-Lapu ordered his soldiers to descend the cliff using ropes made of mountain vines. They launched a surprise attack on the sleeping Monian forces. Fueled by years of humiliation and hatred, the Doric warriors' swift swords fell upon the unsuspecting Monians. Before the Monian warlord could react, Lapu-Lapu beheaded him. After this battle, the Monian invaders, now leaderless, were unable to recover. The resistance forces, led by Lapu-Lapu, drove them back to the mainland. The Vonas Islands were once again a bright and free paradise. Thanks to Lapu-Lapu's bravery and leadership, the Vonitas Islands were once again free and peaceful. Lapu-Lapu became a hero, remembered for his courage and determination to protect his home. The victory over the Munions made Lapu-Lapu a hero among his people. He was celebrated as the savior of the Vonitas Islands, and his name became synonymous with courage and freedom. But Lapu-Lapu knew that the fight was not over. The Munion Empire was a powerful enemy, and they would surely seek revenge for their defeat. Lapu-Lapu spent the following years strengthening the defenses of the islands and training his warriors to be ready for any future attacks. As the years passed, Lapu-Lapu's fame spread far and wide. People from distant lands came to the Vonitas Islands to hear the tales of his bravery and to learn from his wisdom. One day, a messenger arrived from the Munion Empire. The new Emperor of Munion offered a truce and proposed a peace treaty with Lapu-Lapu. The messenger spoke of a new era of cooperation and friendship between their peoples. Lapu-Lapu listened carefully to the messenger's words, but he was wary. He knew that peace could be fragile, and he was not willing to trust the Munions so easily. He agreed to the truce but vowed to remain vigilant against any signs of betrayal. Despite the truce, tensions between the Vonitas Islands and the Munion Empire remained high. Both sides watched each other warily, ready to resume hostilities at a moment's notice. Lapu-Lapu continued to lead his people with wisdom and courage, ensuring that they were always prepared to defend their freedom. And though the future was uncertain, Lapu-Lapu knew that as long as he stood strong, the spirit of the Vonitas Islands would never be conquered. In Mobile Legends, Lapu-Lapu is a versatile fighter who can switch between close combat and ranged attacks. He is known for his agility and strategic skills, making him a formidable opponent in battle. Lapu-Lapu's abilities reflect his legendary status, embodying bravery and strength in the game. Thanks for watching. If you want to hear about more Mobile Legends heroes, just tell me in the comments. Your ideas matter, and I'll make more fun stories for you.